Welcome to Simple Kicking with your host, James Harrison.
All right, let's try that again. Cam, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dude, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just living the dream, baby.
Okay, so this is Arkansas kicker Razorbacks of the Razorbacks. Cam Little, true freshman, dominating the season.
God willing, baby. Love it. God willing.
Okay, so in pre-show you said you feel like you're in week 10.
Yeah, it is. It feels like it's a little different than high school. Season goes by. I mean, we only have. I mean, our kick days are only 2 days a week, so we take 2 days off and 2 days to kick. But still feels so long with classes and stuff like that and meetings. Meetings are a lot longer than what they are in high school. For all you specialists out there, we actually talk a lot about special teams and get to know special teams a lot during the meeting. So, but I enjoy all of it.
So last time we talked, we were DMing and you were trying to win a job.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I competed in high school for the job a little bit, but I had a senior that was actually one of my buddies in high school that had he was pretty good at kicking footballs. He's really good at soccer, and we had been buddies since we were little kids. So that was a pretty friendly competition, and I kind of knew it was his senior year. It was his time to have his place at the job. So I competed in that spot, but I kind of knew like that's his spot to have. But in college, I mean, it gets a little different. Best man's going to play on the field, stuff like that. So it was a healthy competition between me and the other kickers. But I feel like I really just had to dial it in and perfect every little bit of my game to show the coaches and show my teammates that I'm the man for the job, that I can have their trust when a kick is on the line.
Because you're a true freshman, but you graduated early, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've got an extra semester under your belt, but it still doesn't matter. What you did in fall camp is ultimately what won you the job.
100%.
And then you were saying you're perfecting your game. I mean, dude, winning a job and perfecting the game, that's kind of a lot there. What's one thing in specific that changed or how you got better that you could kind of share to the junior in high school who wants to be in your position?
Yeah, I would say just focusing on your kicking and your technique than anyone else's. So like kids that go to camps and kids that are competing for spots in high school, kids that are trying to be better than the dude that's ranked number one in their class. I would say focus on your technique and what you need to do to get your ball where you want it to be. So I would analyze. I had a really good last few weeks in spring ball. I felt like my technique was feeling really solid and stuff like that. And so I would go back right before fall camp started when I was working in the summer. If I ever had an off day, or if I ever was hitting miss hits, I would go back and watch the film where I would kick a really good ball. I would kick my A ball. Yep. And I would try and repeat that. And I'd say, what did I do on this ball that I didn't do on this ball? So a problem I had was getting my plant foot too narrow and leaving my hips open, which would push the ball right. And so a lot of times in fall camp, I would work on my plant foot being a little more wider and really getting my hips through on the ball to make sure I pull it back across instead of pushing it right. So that was one thing I really tried to focus on, just to perfect my technique to make sure my ball would go through the uprights.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking at your chart from this season, and we'll go into that. But you sounds like you had a technical change, which was, hey, just be mindful of that plant so that I can follow through my target.
100%. I'd say that was one thing that I really focused on. Even ending spring, going into fall, like even the very end of spring, going into fall camp, kind of that transition period, I still worked on that a lot. And a big thing too is confidence. I feel like a lot of kicking has to do with confidence, and people may disagree. People may say it's all technique, but I'm a big confidence guy.
Well, where does that confidence come from?
I would say just making. I mean, it obviously helps to make kicks, and I mean that's a big thing for a lot of kickers. Is if you make your kicks, you're gonna. I mean, I feel like confidence just develops naturally through that. But another thing is just telling yourself that you're good enough for the job. You're good enough to do this. You're good enough. Like, you just got to constantly tell yourself that and not let anyone saying like any negative things affect what you're doing on the field.
Yeah. So that positive self-talk.
I feel like and that's part, it goes into mindset. I've had to learn that's a really, 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 really big part of college kicking is how's your mind going, like tying into your kicking. Not just how your kicking is going through the uprights, how are you thinking about each kick, how are you approaching each kick. That's a big thing I've noticed that was different than high school.
So, like, I got to see you kick at some camps in person. Like, so are you telling me that the mindset has matured since you were just blasting away balls from 55 yards?
I feel like it has a little bit. I've kind of figured that. I mean, in practice, I've attempted 50-plus yards 2 minute, and just in case, game-winning situations. But I feel like you got to treat every kick like it's your last kick. I mean, that's the mindset that I go onto the field. I mean, that this is my kick, and I'm going to hit this kick, and then the next kick, I'm going to treat that same kick the next. It's just one kick at a time.
Right.
I feel like even regardless of the distance.
Dude, but these points are really important this season. This is the first year Arkansas has been ranked since 2016.
Yep.
And I think probably the best Arkansas team in the last 10 years. I remember in 2011, y'all were ranked in the top 3 because I played you guys. I remember that game, 1 versus 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I think 2003 was the last time we were ranked in the top 10 before. And then I remember BCS era. That was when we were ranked pretty high. But then when college football playoff and stuff like that, this is the highest we've been ranked since then.
Dude, and so the points matter. Your
100%.
mindset matters for the outcome of the season for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Mm-hmm. I've had a couple big kicks this season that I feel like, in my, when I'm going out there, I don't really think about them as big kicks, but looking back on them, I'd say Texas, we got us on the board for Texas with 3-0. And then A&M, just the game we played past weekend, going into – it was the fourth quarter. It was 17. We were up 17-0. They hit a field goal before half.
Yep.
And then scored a touchdown. So 17-10 going into the fourth quarter. I think there's 5 or 6 minutes left, and we had a chance to go up two possessions. And had 24-yarder in AT&T and brought us up 10 points, which is huge. I kind of realized it after the kick, but I was so focused on just hitting the kick and getting us points on the board. But looking back on it, it was a good kick for my team.
So I've got it pulled up right here on the Simple Kicking app. This is a 24-yarder from the left hash, and about 8 minutes left in the game, and you hit it really solid.
Yeah. Yep. I remember that. I felt after that kick, I'd been working a lot on the left hash through fall camp because that was my main miss during fall camp and kind of earlier in the summer, just pushing that ball right. So I feel like I'm feeling pretty comfortable and confident with the left hash. I'm really both hashes right now. So when you don't miss, it kind of helps your confidence just a little bit. So during practices, during games for the past, I made for 8. So that's always a confidence boost.
No, absolutely, dude. And if you replace right with an average NCAA kicker, Arkansas loses 5 points.
Mm-hmm. I thought about that a little bit the other day. I was talking to one of the other kickers about it, and I was like, man, we're really it was our kickoff specialist. We were like, man, we're really impacting this game right now. He's I think top 5 in the country in touchbacks right now. This past weekend, he averaged, I think, 71, 445 on kickoff this past weekend at AT&T. He's doing a great job. And our punter, Reed Bauer, averaged, I think he netted 41 this past weekend with 4-4 hang, that's huge for us. That's huge special teams part of the game. So I'm really glad where we're at right now in special teams, and I think we're really impacting the game big time. Yeah,
dude. So tell me about one of the big time kicks. What was it like walking out there, at least when you drew first blood against Arkansas? So this was I've got it pulled up here. Your first kick against the Texas A&M Aggies this past week, top 16 matchup, was a 47-yarder.
Yeah. 47-yard. They have 46, but I think it was 47. That was big time. I had warmed up pretty well in warm-ups. And I felt pretty confident. My ops I felt confident about my ops this year. So we called a timeout for that. We only had 10 guys on the field, I think. And then we called a timeout. It was a TV timeout. So that was an extra probably 2 minutes. And so I was just thinking, locked in and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you what, those Aggies fans Kyle Field's got to be a pretty crazy place with all those white towels flinging around. If it's an AT&T and they only have the back end of the stadium moving around those white towels, I can only imagine what it's like with 100,000. But I just told myself I was going to hit it right down my line. It was a right down the middle kick, and so I was like, as long as I hit my line, it'll go through. So I ended up making it, and I was pretty hyped about that kick. It was a good start to the game for our team because we got 3 up. We were 3-0 up. Dude,
and being a kicking nerd, that ball was struck probably your best kick of all season. I've now seen.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, 100%.
Because some of those kicks, like you said, hey, your tendency is to miss a little bit right, and I see that on here.
Uh-huh.
That kick was literally
Yeah,
Zero.
I felt as soon as I came off my foot, I knew it was going through. So,
dude. Well, congrats on an amazing part of your first part of your freshman season.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. College football is it's kind of weird because it's like I'm going to school obviously to study and stuff like that, but it's like in high school I feel like I'm going to school for part of the day, and then then I would just do football after school, and I'd go home, stuff like that. Now it's like I'm 50-50. Like half the day is football and half the day is half the day is school, half the day is football, not 3/4 of the day is school and then like a quarter of the day is football. So it's kind of cool.
So, dude, we got about 2 minutes left. This is Cam Little. He's the kicker for the Arkansas Razorbacks. What do you think about Justin Tucker breaking the NFL record? What were you thinking when you saw that?
When I heard the news, I was like, dude, I've got to see this. I got to see how I thought before I even pulled up the video, just knowing how big Tucker's leg is, I thought he was going to clear it by maybe 2 or 3 yards before I saw the kick actually happen, because I know Tucker has an insanely fast leg. Yeah. So the first thing I saw when I watched the kick, I was just looking at the op and stuff like that. And he did like a little jump before, like he hopped into his steps a bit. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I know Tucker his op is not like anyone else's op. He has a very like special type of form he likes to do, and his steps are very personal to him. And I thought that was pretty interesting the way he did it. But he absolutely stroked that ball right down the middle. And I thought it was when I heard 66, I was like, man, that's insane. Oh my God,
it really was, dude. All right, man. So, what are you hoping for the next part of this next, I don't know, 4 or 5 games? You got a top 3 matchup because y'all are going up on the road to Sanford Stadium in Athens.
Yep. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Hopefully we can, dominate the SEC like we want to. I mean, it's a big time matchup with Georgia. I think we match up really well against them. I think our team has a lot of confidence right now. We have a lot of guys playing really well, and I think Arkansas is back on the board right now. I think Sam Pittman's done a really good job, coaching us and giving us confidence, and he's really developed the players that we have here, and I think we're feeling more confident than ever. So hopefully, I keep kicking well, keep doing what I can for the team, and hopefully we can continue and have a really good season, and end up hopefully we make college football playoff. That's the goal. Maybe win the national championship. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So what are you going to think if you're trotting out there for a 42-yarder? It's 17-19. You guys are down, and it's the game winner. What's going to go on in your mind if you have the chance to beat Georgia?
Definitely just make the kick. I guess it's like every other kick. Just like I'm at practice on a Tuesday afternoon, charting with our team, working with my snapper and holder. It's just same kick, same swing.
Have some fun with it, right?
Yes, sir. Of course.
So where can people find you if they want to follow Cam Little in your journey?
Follow me on Instagram at Cameron G. Little, and at Cameron G. Little on Twitter as well.
All right. So at Cameron G. Little. Cam, thanks for joining the Simple Man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
All right, brother. See ya. Well, that was a lot of fun. To have a true freshman come out there and dominate the way he is, it's rare. It's rare because it's that mindset, right? A lot of guys have to get redshirted, and there's nothing against that whatsoever. But the guys that have the mental fortitude to be able to remain calm in those high pressure situations, in those situations where your team really needs you. And let's be clear, this is a weapon for the Arkansas Razorbacks, because as the season goes on, especially in the SEC, it typically comes down to a made or missed kick. So look, Cam's a guy that loves to play the game. He loves to have fun, and he goes out there and he drains kicks. So thanks so much for joining this episode of the Simple Kicking Show, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, check us out on all social media and the Simple Kicking app as well. That's a tool that kickers are using because it's really hard to log all this information in your head. It's really hard for college coaches to find you outside of social media. So the Simple Kicking app has a live leaderboard for all high school kickers that is instantly accessible by college scouts and by NFL scouts. So my name's James Hairston. Thanks for joining this episode of the Simple Kicking Show, and we'll see you real soon.